If these games aren't on your bucket list, they damn well should be.
Oops, right?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 games every gamer should try. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be examining games whose popularity, enduring legacy, engaging gameplay, and/or memorable story make them worth at least a look-see for any true gamer. To be clear, these aren't necessarily the best games of all time, although some of them are definitely up there. These are just gaming experiences we'd hate to see anyone miss out on. Number 10, Inside. A side-scroller isn't the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to great storytelling, but Inside managed to shatter preconceptions quite nicely. Starting with a nameless boy as he traverses a fog-bound forest at night, the player controls this boy as he evades mysterious guards, encounters disturbing events, and solves puzzles. Inside is one of the best examples of a game conveying its narrative through its gameplay, and thus it manages to engross players in a way that few other mediums can. Creepy atmosphere, simple gameplay, and an engrossing story. Inside is a must try. Number 9, HalfLife 2.
The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
Speaking of great ways to tell stories in video games, HalfLife 2 helped show that video games could be cinematic without cinematic cutscenes, like its predecessor. HalfLife 2 set a trend for games to come by allowing the player to maintain control during story events. But that's just one of the many reasons to play this highly acclaimed game.
Man, a few words, aren't you?
Cool weapons, a wide variety of enemies, an immersive setting and story, the revolutionary gravity gun, come on, you get the idea, right? With all that HalfLife 2 has going for it, you can understand why fans have been clamoring for a sequel, and that'll be happening any decade now, just you wait.
Oh, I thought you were a cop.
He's one of us.
Number 8, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim.
What in oblivion is that?
Sentries, what do you see?
It's in the clouds.
Games by Bethesda tend to play very similarly, so ultimately this choice comes down to a preference. But really though, can you blame us? Skyrim arguably exemplifies the Bethesda formula the best. One of the biggest things we consider for this list was the experience, and Skyrim provides experiences in spades.
True.
With enough side quests and discoveries to satisfy even the most ardent of completionists, and a main game with plenty of story to engage those looking to play out an epic Norse-like saga. Number 7, The Last of Us.
What do you want to do?
We've already talked about some games with cinematic elements, but The Last of Us takes it to a whole other level. While the setting, the post-apocalyptic world overrun by creatures created through an epidemic, has been definitely done before, it's the execution where the game really shines, with incredibly detailed motion-captured performances from the main characters and some of the most intelligent AI we've seen to date, both from allies and enemies. This game really makes you feel like you're part of the story. With a compelling story, fleshed out characters, and fun combat, The Last of Us was probably the high point for the PS3.
Oh, baby girl. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Number 6, Doom. First-person shooters have dominated the market for decades, but they got their start in the early 90s with games like Doom. This title's blend of sci-fi horror and pixelated ultraviolence made it highly sought after by gamers far younger than its nominal demographic, again setting the trend for modern shooters. Whether you're an older gamer with nostalgia or a younger one who wants to examine gaming's roots, Doom is definitely worth a look, especially in light of the release of the new entry in the franchise. Sometimes the best way to appreciate what you have is to see where it came from. Number 5, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. The Zelda series has produced some truly exceptional adventure games over the years, but Ocarina of Time is perhaps the most acclaimed entry in the franchise, and that's saying something. The first 3D game in the series, Ocarina remains the benchmark by which each game that followed is judged. Its settings are compelling and interesting, there's a wide variety of weapons and items, the music is catchy and moving, the characters have depth, I mean, we could go on. And with its availability on multiple platforms, including a great remake on the 3DS, Ocarina of Time is an easy game to find if you want to try it for yourself. Number 4, Minecraft. There are sandbox games, and then there's Minecraft, giving players the ability to create almost anything they want out of blocks. This game took the world by storm, and it hasn't let up yet. Minecraft is worth playing, if only because there's something for almost everyone. Is survival your type of game? Then eke out a living while exploring randomly generated worlds. New mods and game modes are being created by users all the time too. The possibilities are limited only by your imagination and by your free time when it comes to Minecraft. Number 3, Super Mario Bros. 3. It was tough narrowing down the Mario franchise to just one pick, but ultimately we had to go with the plumber's third big adventure on the NES. Mario 3 is arguably the series' most acclaimed and easy to pick up and play game. While the first Super Mario game may have defined the platforming genre, Mario 3 polished 2D platforming to such perfection that new Mario games are still harkening back to its interface, power-ups, secrets, and level design. If you want the quintessential Mario experience, it's hard to go wrong with giving this one a try. Number 2, Shadow of the Colossus. Video games are not always thought of as art, but make no mistake, Shadow of the Colossus is a masterpiece. From its vast open landscapes to its soaring soundtrack, this game is absolutely breathtaking. Of course, the real meat of the game is through its gameplay, and despite its action-adventure exterior, Shadow of the Colossus is a puzzle game at its heart, with the goal being to determine how to defeat each of the 16 memorable, mostly massive colossi. There are few games, or even stories in general, that manage to tie together a character's objectives and obstacles quite so tidily. Colossus is absolutely worth conquering if you're up to the challenge. Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
I love it! I gotta remember to write that down. And to shoot you in your head, you annoying dick. Andres, taking notes? This stuff. Whoa!
Number 1, Portal. Bet you didn't see this one coming. While there are certainly longer, more complex, and arguably better games on this list, Portal is just plain fun and amazing. The story is simple, namely running through a series of puzzles using the portal-creating gun that gives the game its name, at the behest of the AI GLaDOS.
As part of a required test protocol, our previous statement suggesting that we would not monitor this chamber was an outright fabrication.
The mechanics of the Portal device are a blast to play around with, and GLaDOS makes for one of the most memorable video game characters of all time, despite being heard and not seen for most of the game. Portal might not be a long trip, but it's one you'll definitely enjoy taking. Plus, who doesn't enjoy cake, right? Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.